The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and sponsored by international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia of Missing. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 40 podcast platforms, as well as hamiltonradio.net, Diamonds FM, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We can be heard in over 100 countries, featuring over 1,000 well-known and amazing guests throughout the globe. And named one of the top 100 global podcasts in the New York Weekly Times, Hollywood Entertainment News, Los Angeles Weekly Times, Apple, and Chartable. So sit back and relax and enjoy another great episode of the award-winning Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosinzia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Mosinzia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosinzia has garnered great reviews and even 11 endorsed by Howard celebrities, including John Cassie, Forged by the M&Ms. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Mosinzia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com and over 40 podcast platforms heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartradio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and now hearing on hamiltonradio.net, Oldies FM, Diamonds Radio, and the Field of Networks coming soon. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, and also some hoodies and baseball gear and more. Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosinzia for great books like Missing, Once and Wrinkles, all cool merchandise, t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and phone cases and more. Amazon.com/Mia Mosinzia. Check it out today. Also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's living on an island and living a dream as a team leader of the biodomeproject out of Saopaolo, Brazil. He started a micronation called welandia, and we'll talk about about the meaning behind the name and what are the memberships, what are the requirements, the benefits, and everything else. And of course, just doing it with 3 simple words, and of course, this group as well too that they're associated with an eco park, international ocean activists as well too. And what's it like living in his part of the world? That we'll find out just 1 minute. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios somewhere in Saopaolo, Brazil, and it's Evoultion Island. So we encourage everybody to come check it out. After we meet this wonderful gentleman, he's a mayor, president, and the founder of Welandia, ladies and gentlemen, team leader of the Bio Project, and I guess you can call it the founder of Welandia, and he is David Ferdinand. David, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Mike, so much for allowing me to address your audience, your listening audience. I'm so excited. We have a lot of fun ahead of us here. Hopefully, everyone stays tuned and continues to listen to the Mike Wagner Show, especially in Bermuda. You know, I heard that you're doing great in Bermuda, Mike.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And it's been hanging in there for quite some time. And of course, look at some of the other countries as well, too. And hopefully you guys will make it there. So your job as a mayor of Evolution Island. You're part of Saopaolo, Brazil. So welandia, we encourage everybody to spread as well too. And we'll make it maybe David Ferdinand Day or something. So you're team leader of the Biodomeproject out of Saopaolo, Brazil. You started a micronation called Welandia, which you can make it the next Ellis Island, accepting all people on Earth and not require government ID, which is upstate. You guys are international ocean activists and going by 3 simple words of do no evil. And we'll talk about that. And before getting to that, David, tell us how I first got started.
It's kind of a long story, but 25 years ago, I came to Brazil with the U.S. Department of Commerce on an official trade mission to help to transfer technology and create jobs for Americans, and also bridge and build and strengthen our relationships here in Brazil, which most people really don't understand the true nature of what Brazil is all about. But after 25 years, Mike, living here, my eyes are wide open now. When I first came, I had no clue. I didn't speak the language at all. I was trained to come here through the Department of Commerce for trade negotiations. So I knew about business, and I knew that Brazil had huge potentials. But what I didn't realize was the political side. All over the world, we have issues, political issues of corruption, and also just not representing the people. And that's really what motivated me to start the Welandia movement, which is a freedom cell. I don't know if you've heard of freedom cells, but micronations have been around for quite some time. In fact, just off the coast of New York and Connecticut, one of the first micronations called North Dumpling Island was developed by the inventor and founder of the Segway machine, the Segways.
Wow.
Dean Kamen. And about 30 years ago, Dean bought the island, and he had so many problems because he needed to generate electricity there. And he tried to build a wind tower. And the municipality, the government, stopped him and basically was controlling him and not allowing him to thrive on the property that he purchased. So Dean created this concept called micronation, and he kind of set the stage for me to learn, like as a mentor, what a micronation is all about. It's not really about population. It's about having open access more than anything, especially with communications. And that's the field that you're in, Mike, with radio broadcasting, communication, trying to connect people, trying to connect voices. The problem in our society, everyone knows the media just strangles the message. And now through the advent of these new technologies, like you mentioned, all of the different platforms and all of the different channels that you have available open up that two-way communication. So the Welandia project is really designed primarily to help support open communications. And after open communications, we're here, the Welandia Nation is here to support people for health. We believe that all people were born perfectly healthy. And we believe that disease is a mental concept that man has created. So it's communication, health, and then the third area is prosperity. The North Dumpling example with Dean, he created his own currency. This is 30 years ago, before Bitcoin and before NFTs and these creative ways of financing. So part of the North Dumpling Constitution has its own currency and its own method of becoming prosperous in trading, in local trades like barters and more ancient ways of prospering. It's not always about having money. For example, myself, I've been here on Evolution Island since 2010, and I haven't worked. I haven't gained employment for 12 years.
Wow.
But I survived, and I found a way to thrive because I found a unique balance with coexisting with nature. And that's really what welandia is about. It's about the coexistence with nature. And if we can live with nature, we can access all the resources of nature, especially fresh water, fresh mineral water, which here on Evolution Island, we have an abundance of fresh mineral water. That's the number one resource. Anything after that is all growth, and it requires water and sun. And this is a unique location and off the coast of Sao Paulo, one of the largest cities in the world with almost 22 million people living just within arm's reach. Somehow we've been able to maintain the natural beauty of where we are. And there are some questions about Brazil, the government, and about how they are maintaining their environmental responsibilities. Some people are saying that they're not environmentally responsible. Other people are saying they are. I say it's kind of in the middle. And the welandia project is going to really amplify the message about conservation. Like you had mentioned, I spend a lot of time as an activist, a spokesperson for islands and oceans. And the welandia territory is involving 7 islands and 15 beach communities.
Wow.
All along the mainland, Mike. It's a really unique geographic area because the mountains, we have a huge mountain range that is called Mata Atlantica rainforest. And the mountains come right down to the ocean. So there's only one road that goes along about 40 or 50 kilometers stretch. And it's called Costa Sul. San Sebastian is the city. It's just outside of the big city of Sao Paulo. And so the demographics, the geographic layout is perfect for the welandia project because we can control the whole process, the input, the process, and the output. There's only one way in and one way out. And the idea is to be very conscientious of carbon and climate in global warming. So the welandia effort, I want to just mention where the name welandia came from. The first word, actually most people don't realize, Mike, but we is the only word that has no direct opposite. Think of that. Any other word that you use, like good and bad, just and evil, whatever the words are, has a duality. But the word we includes you, me, them, us, everybody. When you use the word we, it's an inclusive, all-inclusive word, an equal word. That's why welandia was created, because there are no restrictions, like you mentioned. To become part and active with welandia is a very easy process. We're developing an applicativo, an app called We. The focus for welandia is the local residents, our local residents. But at the same time, we have a global approach, an earthly approach. The idea is that we would start with this one welandia, this territory. We would develop the project with technology and kind of being a testing lab, an exploration center, a scientific station, because everything that we try to do needs to be backed by science and mathematics. So if we say something or we make a proposal, it's not just our opinion, and it's not a religious belief in itself. Although religion is a big part of it, and the belief in God and consciousness is part of the Constitution, because like you said, we only have 3 words in our Constitution. Like Facebook has 14,000 words in their terms and conditions.
I lost track after a while.
Most people don't read any of that, Mike. First of all, we already know with terms and conditions, we give away everything. You don't have any rights with Facebook. So welandia says one simple thing: do no evil. Do no evil. Now, what does that mean? That an attorney or legal team would say, there's no way that you're going to do any type of project with 3 simple words like that. It opens the door for so much controversy and conflict, because some people are going to say, what is evil? And who are you to tell me what's evil? But the fact is, we know within ourselves, we have a moral compass. We were built that way, to do no evil, because when we do evil, all of our body signals are activated. Our fear, the number one thing is our fear. And so when you start walking the fine line of evil, doing something evil, your intuition is going to say, whoa, slow down. And that's all we want people to be, is aware. If you're not aware and you're in welandia, you're asleep, that's not a good thing for us, for the community. We want people that are engaged and empowered and enlightened, if we can, spiritually connected, complete people that help each other and give each other, especially love. Because for us, there's only one of 2 choices that you have, Mike, in life. You can love or you can fear. And those are the only 2 choices. Everything after that is elementary. If you choose love, your life is joyful and blissful. It's not all positive. I'm not saying that if you choose love, you're not going to have complications, have to overcome adversity, trials and errors, and learning and making mistakes. And that's all part of growing up and maturing and becoming wise. But if we live on the opposite side of love, in fear, literally every moment of your life is a curse. So either life is a blessing or life is a curse. And those are the choices that we need to make as humans, being together in community. It's not a religious command or suggestion, although it does involve, morality and ethics and just being good people to each other and caring and being compassionate to each other. That's what welandia is about. So I described the word we is all about our connectedness, our one. We are one. It's about unity. Landia comes from the project. I don't know if you've ever heard of Henry Ford when he came to Brazil about 100 years ago. Henry Ford created a city called Fordlandia.
Yeah, so like the Ford automobile company.
Yes, in fact, he created a whole city in the Amazon. This is back about 100 years during the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, when he invented the automobile in mass production. The number one problem was tires and the rubber. So he had the idea he was going to go in the Amazon and start growing rubber trees. And he bought a huge. There's a documentary film actually on YouTube called Fordlandia. It's very, very interesting. They came and basically destroyed a huge percentage of the Amazon outside of Manaus. And they created this industrial city and planted all of these rubber trees to make tires. But the Amazon is organic. It grows anything, but also the pests eat everything. So what happened is the project failed. It was one of the worst interventions culturally. There was Henry Ford tried to bring America and all of our capitalism with him to Brazil. And there was a clash with the culture. So Fordlandia was an example of what not to do. Welandia is what we can do. What we can do. We need to be sensitive, first of all, with culture. Wherever we are, wherever welandia is on Earth, or even in other planets, our number one responsibility is the connection with people, especially the indigenous people, the Indians. And so the welandia movement is about connection. It's about unity. And it's exciting. The work that I mentioned with North Dumpling Island sets some example, but that's not really, still a private, that's a kind of a private nation. even you kind of introduced me as the mayor of Welandia. I'm not, not really the mayor.
That's what it feels like, or president or something, or founder.
Yeah. You know what everyone's looking for, Mike, is a target. So Welandia it's kind of like Wizard of Oz. Who's behind the curtain? Because if the shit hits the fan, who are we going to go after? Who was the person whose mission is this? Some people say to me, Mike, David, this is your mission. And I say, what? My mission? All of a sudden, trying to help humanity is David's mission. I'm sorry. I'm one person. I'm a responsible person. And I try to have love in my heart. And Jesus guides me in my decisions. And I'm trying to be a good person. But it's not my responsibility. To evolve consciously is all of our efforts. If everyone just be responsible and be awake when they make decisions, then the earth and the planet's going to be a much better place to live. We're going to be more in harmony. I use the word like utopia. Welandia actually is like a utopia. It's an imaginary place. It actually exists. Welandia exists in the fifth dimension, in the metaverse. Welandia is really not a place for people to live here. Like you said, Ellis Island. This is like the metaverse version of Ellis Island. You don't physically have to come here ever to be immersed in the nature. We can do that using artificial intelligence. But now we have the technology. We can embed the intelligence with our soul, in our spirit, in the real values that we have, so that when you get into the metaverse without gargles, just with yourself, like where you are right now, you don't need any special equipment. It requires meditation. And when you meditate, you come down to zero. And when you come to zero, then you can go to the fifth dimension. You can go to the 12th dimension. You can go to whatever dimension. But the first stop is at zero. So what I tell people is try to come to zero. And that's hard for people, Mike, because we have been taught culturally that zero is not a good thing. It's not a good place. It's called like people that are lazy, and all of the stereotypes about what zero is. So when I do talks with people, I ask a simple question: what is zero? And you know what? Virtually everyone doesn't know what zero is. And they don't know the history of where zero came from.
Really?
And do you know what zero is?
Well, that's a good question. Let's get to that in just 1 minute. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com and over 40 podcast platforms in over 100 countries. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. Also on Hamilton Radio, Oldies FM, Diamonds, and more. And check out Mike Wagner Show merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com. And also, for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles, and also cool merchandise and more. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, the MikeWagnerShow.com, and buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com with the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with the team leader of the Biodomeproject out of Saopaolo, Brazil, and broadcasting from Evoultionisland Island. We have the founder of Welandia, David Ferdinand, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And we gave some time to get our listeners find out. And what is zero? And I got to say this, what is zero? All I know, it's just a donut.
And a good donut, a tasty donut.
I like chocolate too. That's my favorite donut of all. Chocolate. Yes, that's my zero right there. Add some chocolate to it and I'm happy. I love a nice chocolate zero.
Yes. Actually, Mike, we grow chocolate here. We cacao. We have tropical fruits on Evolution Island, gardens. We have a camping area. We do events. We do things like ayahuasca. I don't know if you heard of ayahuasca and shamanism, spirituality, but it's a really big trend. Ayahuasca is a really popular thing for cleansing, cleansing of our physical, our mental, emotional, and spiritual. In 5 hours, you go through a complete process and you connect with spirit. It's really an amazing thing. But chocolate is something that we love here. We make our own fresh chocolate. It's absolutely delicious.
Oh wow! How do you make chocolate? I'm really, you got me really curious. I was going to ask about coffee, but learning how to make your own chocolate is even more tastier.
Yeah. Actually, it's interesting, Mike. When I first came here, the fruit has a hard shell, and when you open it up, the chocolate are the seeds, and it's very bitter. Without any sugar or flavoring or anything, when you open up the fruit, you usually just suck the seed. You don't bite into the chocolate. So for many years, when I first came here, I was throwing the seeds back into the earth. Not that they were going to grow, but something was going to eat it, but I wasn't eating it. And then just a couple of years ago, somebody came here and saw me throwing the seeds, and they said, "What are you doing? You're throwing the best part away."
Oh.
What you do is take the seeds, you take the flesh, and you suck the fruit off, and then you can sun dry the seeds. And then after you sun dry the seeds, then you can grind them, and you can make like yogurt and smoothies and whatever with the bitter chocolate. Once you dry it, it's not as bitter. I eat the chocolate just raw now. I dry it in the sun and I just eat it raw. And it's really very nutritional for especially cognitive synapse and cognitive behavior.
Now, is it possible to sweeten the chocolate the natural way you guys are doing it?
Well, we have sugar cane here, so that we can take the liquid from the sugar cane, which is a natural sugar. That's what they make the alcohol. It's called cachaça. For when you make a caipirinha. This is all Brazilian words you might not know, but we used to grow tobacco. We used to grow coffee. This was a full plantation about 100 years ago. When I came here in 2010, the island was abandoned. And Wikipedia actually classified this as a deserted island, in a very dangerous place, because criminals were coming here and living here and selling drugs and doing all sorts of evil stuff. And so I was able to come here with my wife, and we settled the island. We cleaned the place. There was all sorts of garbage that people had left here over 10 years. It had been abandoned, the island. And so we were able to make Evolution Island a home for us, and also a home for everyone that comes here. It's such a wonderful place. The energy here is so virgin. There's only a small house that we live in, and a couple of buildings for restrooms. So the infrastructure, basically the island is untouched. And we're right off the coast of saopaolo that I had said, only 1 mile off the coast. So everyone on the mainland can see Evolution Island. We're right in front of everybody. And that's
how many people are currently living there right now?
Just my wife and myself. And I spend quite a bit of time here alone, which is amazing. You know, this American guy comes to Brazil, basically settles an island in a very strange place, doesn't speak the language. And I take care of the place myself. Just a couple of days ago, we had over 30 people here. And for one person to take care of it's amazing. It's magical. Let's put it to you that way. I can't describe. It's not really work for me. You know, I don't work. I live. And that's what the whole idea of welandia is about. is to help people find a place where they can live and they can express themselves and they can flow with life and they can thrive. And when you find a place like that, your health becomes perfect. There is no disease. There's no COVID-19. There's no nothing. There's just nature. There's life. That doesn't mean that death, the cycle of death doesn't happen. But in nature, life and death is one. There's not a beginning and an end. There's no past, present, and future. There's only now. And so that's what we teach people is how to be connected with nature. And Welandia, you mentioned the Biodomeproject. I know we don't have a lot of time left on this call, this interview, to explain all the details of Biodome.
Or just a little bit of it. It's fine.
Yeah, Biodome could interest you in one area specifically. I ask you a question, Mike. Do you know about quantum radio? Have you ever heard quantum radio?
I've heard of quantum radio, but I have not researched it. But that'd be interesting on what you got to say about it. So,
just this year, about 6 months ago in Colorado, Dr. David Howie from NIST, the National Institute of Science and Technology in the United States, Dr. Howie discovered the quantum radio signal. Quantum radio signal is next to zero. And that's why I had said, what is zero? Zero is where everything comes from. Everything. That's the quantum of reality. That is, all things come from nothing and nowhere. And so Dr. David Howie discovered the vibrational signal from nothing. It almost doesn't exist. But that signal is so strong and has a bandwidth, unlimited bandwidth, an unlimited amount of speed, like computer speed. It's supposed to be 14,000 times faster than 5G.
Wow.
That's what 14,000 times faster, and has an unlimited bandwidth. And it also, at the point zero, it generates its own electricity. So Dr. Howie has figured out how to embed electricity into the quantum radio signal. So you don't need energy anymore. Energy is all around us. It's one of the greatest inventions and discovery of all time. And it's just coming out. You can research a little bit more. The listeners can research quantum radio. And I mention that to you because of the work that you do. We right now, Mike, can embed information and data into the radio wave. So when you, like this broadcast, for example, a hidden not a hidden signal, but a very subtle signal of love and compassion and giving and kindness can be embedded in our message, whether it be music or just us talking. Music is the best medium. And I know you have a lot of talent that comes on your show, musical artists, authors, creative people. And the fact is, all of these people are creating from 0.00 absolute, from the 0 point. That's where all creation and all sound comes from. And everything comes from that point. So quantum radio is a huge thing. And if you want to learn more about it, be happy to maybe do another interview with you at some point. Hopefully this is not the last time that this is our first time to get to know each other. I think we have rich conversation ahead of us is what I'm trying to express.
I think this would be great if you send it to me by email, and you talk about quantum radio being at zero and everything else. And there's been talk about frequency too. We've had some conversations with other people about frequency. What was it like it? Was it 435 or something like that? It's like how does quantum radio differ from the 435 frequency?
Well, actually, the quantum frequency is at zero. So in heart math, do you know heart math in Colorado, the Institute Heart Math? If you don't know about it, they have measured neurologically that the frequency from our heart to our brain, the connection, the best frequency is 0.1 hertz.
Wow.
0.1 hertz is almost not existent. when we are in a calm, relaxed state is when our love flows. And when our love flows, all communication and consciousness flows to our brain, and we are in balance. So when you start talking about frequencies 455, for whatever these numbers are, these are higher level vibrational tones. They exist and they have benefit, but nothing compared to 0 and nothing compared to 0.1 hertz. For example, the human heart at a normal relaxed state like we are right now, just talking to each other, is vibrating at 1.2 to 1.5 hertz. That's a big difference between 0.1 hertz and 1.2 and 1.5. What it says is that if we meditate, if we calm ourselves down, focus on our breathing, bring our heart rate down to 0.1, they know that's the magical number. The Heart Math Institute has investigated this thoroughly. This is scientific proof. Like I said, it's not my opinion, but the whole point is the magical number is a calm state. It's not a higher vibrational state. A lot of people think that, I want to be around people vibrating high. Actually, that's not the best place to be. The best place to be is calm and still at 0, because that's where everything happens. It's a different way of thinking and looking. In life, in mathematics, there's the inverse of everything. So whatever the formula is, there's the opposite. So if people think that high vibrational is the key and they're still suffering in life, the fact is they need to stop and turn around and go to 0. They don't need to vibrate higher. That's not really the where the magic is.
That's rather interesting. And I was just thinking about, like you're on Evolution Island. I guess my question is, how do you guys get internet?
We are only 1 mile off the coast, and actually we have 4G. The towers, the communication tower is right in direct sight. And the quantum radio signal is really important for us because we have point A to point B direct access with the whole coast. I mentioned that we only have one road. So we're going to be taking 2,000 people and having home-based businesses. They can work out of their house, and basically they play the quantum radio signal. And then we embed that signal with love and caring and compassion. And so our whole community is gonna evolve. That's the idea, is to make a network, a communication network with nodes. 2,000 nodes is what our beginning. We have over 60,000 people that live here year round, and we have over 2 to 3 million tourists that come here every year. So the tourism is number one for the economy here. And so, we have the ability to connect everybody. It's a very unique situation. I explored over 100 islands, Mike, and investigated and analyzed islands throughout the Caribbean. I didn't go to Bermuda, but I went to Puerto Rico and to Cuba and many other islands in the Caribbean. This island, Evolution Island here in Saopaolo, was the number one because of the resources and because of the logistics and because of the importance of the environment with the rainforest and because we don't get hurricanes.
Oh, that's a big
we don't
one,
have natural disasters.
Okay.
It's a huge one. Or snowstorms and blizzards and the weather here.
I'm packing my bags and heading there. We encourage everybody, tired of snowstorms and blizzards, head to Evolution Island.
Exactly. And you can stay, the whole idea of welandia is like a timeshare. You can stay here physically, but you're not a resident. You don't own, you just come and you can utilize like timeshare. Like Airbnb. The fact is, we don't have to own anything. You can travel as you get older and more flexible, and you can move around. You can go anywhere in the world and live in an eco village or some place where you can feel connected with nature and have longevity, and just live a real vibrant and vital life.
That's rather interesting too. And I was going to ask you as well too. You talked about North Dumpling Island, where this gentleman started 30 years ago, and the U.S. government was not very cooperative. How cooperative is the Brazilian government with Evolution Island and helping you guys out?
Unfortunately, not cooperative.
So it's the same like with the situation with North Dumpling.
Exactly. The political situation and corruption is all over the world. And it's sad to say, but our American policy taught Brazil everything that they know. And so all of the issues with the election process and what have you were lessons that they learned from us in America. And one of the things as an activist and like an ambassador, a U.S. Brazilian ambassador, the whole idea is for us to come together, not to be separate. And let's represent we the people. When we say we the people, it means all the people on earth, not just Americans. In our democracy, I grew up being taught to go around and spread democracy and be really fearful of communism. And here in Brazil, communism is a reality. We have an election year this year, and communism, the Communist Party is right now winning. That's scary. It's scary. And a lot of people don't respect Americans like me. Like you said, how receptive have you been? Has the government helped you? The answer, Mike, is no. I don't speak the language. Right away, they think that I'm a capitalist, that I'm an opportunist because I haven't spent the time. They don't think I spent the time, or I don't care about the culture, which is not the truth. I care more about the culture than the average person that lives here. Mm-hmm. And I do historical research, and I was trained to investigate and report like a journalist.
I was just going to say that. Yes. It's something many people are lacking these days. Nowadays they're not taught to hear both sides of the story. They're just taught, listen to one channel only.
That is correct. And that's the media that it took the public sphere and made it into a private sphere, their sphere. So there's really no more public. You're an example, and a great example, Mike, of being the public representation. And you're taking the risks, and you're spreading your wings, and you're spreading your reach, and you're expanding the channels that you can send the message, which is what we need. Okay. Everybody needs to be doing that right now. Okay. And we need to give both sides, and we need to validate everything we talk about with mathematics. Everything, like I said, with zero. What is zero? Well, we know what mathematics zero is. We can define zero. We know absolute zero, the Kelvin scale. Yep. We thought that the freezing point was -32. It's not. It's -273. Kelvin, the Kelvin absolute zero won a Nobel Peace Prize about 40 years ago. This is only 40 years in our whole humanity that we had the consciousness to think about what absolute zero is. Absolute zero is where there's no movement, there's no sound, there's no object, there's no light. It's darkness. It's all dark energy and dark matter. And that's what 0.00 absolute is about. It's not coming to zero. It's actually going to the center of zero, the absolute center of the earth, for example, which we have no idea what is the center of the earth. A simple thing, Mike, like the earth. We thought the earth was flat. For thousands of years, we thought the earth was flat. And then we went to outer space and we could look back and say, no, the earth is a ball. It's a sphere. It's a sphere. But we still don't know what's at the center of the earth. And there's a reality with Stephen Hawking's and black holes and white hole theory that at the center of the earth actually goes to the other side of our universe. You can go through our earth and you can come out into the beginning of time where the Big Bang existed. That's what some other theories are saying. And I tend to believe that. I tend to believe that there's no way that our center of our earth is a solid core. It doesn't make any sense. Our center of the earth is a plasma. We are all plasma. Our energy is plasma. It's not a physical. It's not a liquid, or it's not a gas. It's actually ether. And so when we come to the center of the earth, you go out into another realm, another dimension. That's what, point zero, there's no negative zero. People think that a timeline has zero in the center, and on one side is negative and on one side is positive. We know with absolute zero, there's nothing less than zero. There is no negative, which is pretty amazing. Yeah.
That had to be amazing as well, too. And of course, we just got a few more minutes with David Ferdinand. And how do we come to Welandia? We'll find out just 1 minute. Listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosley of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the team leader of the Biodomeproject and the founder of Welandia, David Ferdinand, after this timeout.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with the amazing David Ferdinand in the Mike Wagner Show of Welandia, and some people call him mayor, some people call him president, but he's just simply the founder of this amazing nation as well, too. And then where can people get more information about Welandia, and also people get to come out, and also where can we learn more about it?
Actually, what we're doing, Mike, on July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we're making a documentary movie. And we're going to be filming live. So the best way to learn about myself, David Ferdinand, is on Facebook. I post a lot on Facebook and also have message. People can send messages. I don't know in your broadcast if on the bottom where people can make comments, if you're going to stream it through YouTube channel, if people make comments, I'll be reading all of those comments and I can respond back. Rather than giving, I use WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal, but rather giving the number right now, if people are interested in learning more about Welandia and the Biodomeproject and the technology and spirituality that we're doing, they can stay in touch through the YouTube feed that you give. And also, if you want, you can post. I've sent you my phone number, my WhatsApp, and what have you. If you want to publicly disclose that, I would give you permission to do that, Mike.
Okay, that sounds terrific as well, too. And once again, where can we get more information about you, your country, and everything else?
Facebook is the best way to reach me right now. I'm very limited with Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, but the Facebook feed under David Ferdinand, like the bull. My last name is like Ferdinand the Bull. Mm-hmm. You know the children's story?
Yeah. Ole, ole.
Ole, ole. I enjoy smelling the flowers, Mike. I don't like conflict. I don't like war. I don't like fear. I like love. And that's what my whole mission and purpose in my life. I feel guided like a light worker to help people to become awake and to go to zero, go to 0.00 absolute. That's the mission. And that's the same for all of us. That's the same for all of us. So if we all meet at that 0.00 absolute, life is amazing. And that's where welandia is. It's a utopia. It's kind of like a fantasy or like a metaverse situation. It kind of exists and it kind of not exists, but it's in the middle. And that's where everything is, in the middle. And it's a wonderful place to be, in the middle. That's where all flexibility is. Thank you so much for your time, Mike. This has been such a pleasure. If any of your listeners have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to help everyone as much as I can.
We'll certainly do so. Again, David, very big thank you for your time here on the Mike Wagner Show. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects and what's your website. And once again, how can people reach you?
We're going to be coming out with information about July 1st coming up this next week or so. So just stay in contact with the Mike Wagner Show. And we'll be giving Mike, Mike, a lot of information so that we can work together. Maybe even you could be part of the movie. You know, we can do a film clip and give you some exposure so that you can reach more people, because you're doing such a great job. And we thank you so much for all that you do.
And thank you as well, too. You're amazing. Once again, David, a very big thank you for your time. We have David Ferdinand here on the Mike Wagner Show, the founder of welandia. Very big thank you for your time. Looking forward to having you again soon. You've been excellent, and looking forward to having you on. Just keep us up to date. Keep in touch. You've got a great future ahead of you.
Thank you. God bless.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show. Brought to you by international award-winning author Mia Mohsen-Zia of Missing, and powered by Sonic Web Studios. Be sure to join us again on over 40 podcast platforms, and of course on the MikeWagnerShow.com, HamiltonRadio.net, and Diamonds FM. Don't forget to support our program with a generous donation at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Thanks for listening.